Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing really well. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. I do a lot of study, career and personal finance related videos here on my channel. So if that's something of interest to you, then please do subscribe to my channel down below and be sure to follow me on my Instagram as well, Success by Sanjna. Now also, if you are new, you may not know that I have launched a website where I am offering services around career consulting, CV prep, interview prep, cover letters, and how you can really sort of up your game in terms of LinkedIn as well. So if that's of interest to you as well, then be sure to head to my website successbysanjna.com or visit the description box down below for the information. Now, as you can tell by the title of today's video, I wanted to talk through how it is that I actually budget on a monthly basis. I know I've mentioned budgeting before on my channel as well, but I wanted to show you guys how I use my tracker, which is available for download on my website if you are interested. And I'm just going to show you guys how I budget on that tracker, what I do to keep myself on top of my expenses, managing my finances. And yeah, I'm just going to walk you guys through it and really explain to you how you can really utilize this tracker to its full potential. Now, if you are interested, then please keep watching. Now, let's talk a little bit about the importance of budgeting. Now, we all have heard of, budgeting and how good it is, but if you haven't really tried it, I definitely recommend you do, because budgeting has really changed my life. It's allowed me to really find where it is that I am spending my money, and if I'm spending it on unnecessary things, then I'll be able to quickly pick it up from my budget. Now, I like manually, using my budget. I like to import data from my, my phone app to check my bank accounts. I like doing it manually so that I can actually see, what is really going into my budget and really sort of break it down for me. Because if there was an app that was, managing my expenses, I just feel like I won't be as involved as, I currently am. And really looking at each expense, going line by line on your banking apps and really writing that down and categorizing them as well, I think is very, very important. I know there are some apps out there which you can use, but as mentioned, I think that, if you were to physically see those expenses, you'll feel like, oh crap, like I can maybe reduce this expense. Instead of, seeing it as a bulk amount on, your app, on your banking apps. So yeah, that's one of the things that I love about budgeting, being able to see all my expenses and really breaking it down and being really honest with myself and transparent with myself as well. So I'm going to talk you through how you can budget with a stable income. I know a lot of my viewers have a 9-to-5 income, a fortnightly or monthly paycheck, which is going to be very easy for you to use this budget. However, if you do have multiple streams of income, then you can obviously factor that into your budget as well by just increasing the number of, rows in there, or adding all of your monthly income together and then using that total amount to, figure out your monthly expenses. Now, very recently, I did do a video on my channel here talking about, how I actually manage my money from when I get paid at my job, and, how I transfer that money into different accounts, my checking account, my savings account, and also into my offset account as well. So if you're interested in seeing how I manage my money from that perspective, then click up here for the video, and that will take you straight to the managing money video. Otherwise, continue watching and the link will be in the description box below. Now, just very briefly, if I was to quickly go through, that process, it's basically, obviously I get paid into my checking account, and then I pay off all of my expenses, whatever is outstanding, and then whatever is remaining, I will put it into my investments. I keep an emergency fund of about, 3 to 4 months of, day-to-day expenses or living expenses, but the rest of it does go into my investments. And as you guys know, I do invest in cryptocurrency, so a lot of my savings or my investments are tied up with cryptocurrency. If you are an Australian resident or a New Zealand resident, you are able to use my link in the description box below. It will give you guys $10 worth of Bitcoin for free if you do, sign up with SwiftX, and upon your verification, you'll notice that $10 in your account. So check out the description box down below for that code. Alrighty, now for the part you guys have all been waiting for, how to use my budget and how to really track your expenses on a monthly basis. Now, I've just got my laptop here, so I am going to be referring to my laptop, but you guys will see what I'm looking at on the screen as well. Hi guys, just jumping in today to mention today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. Basically, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious curious people. You're able to explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. So a class that I've recently been taking is Learn How to Budget, Personal Budgeting Made Easy in 16 Minutes. Now this class is from Brainy Money and Sun Han, who is a CFA and a CPA. So when it came to creating the budget, I wanted to make sure that I included everything. So I came onto Skillshare and I visited this course and I had a look at point 4 here, create expense budget. So if you're looking to learn more about budgeting, then I definitely recommend this course. As you can see, it's a very simple course. It is beginner level. And yeah, definitely recommend this. So Skillshare have thousands of online classes available. Some topics include illustration, graphic design, creative writing, animation, production, film and video, marketing, productivity, freelance and entrepreneurship, and honestly the list could go on. And what I love about Skillshare is that it is less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. So if this sounds like something you would be interested in, then definitely click the link in the description box below, because the first 1,000 subscribers to click the link in the description box below will get a free trial of the premium membership, which is honestly amazing, and that too ad-free. Now back to the video. So let's start off. Now, as you can see, my budget tracker has been populated for the months of January all throughout December. Now, obviously you can tell that we are in the month of April. So what we're going to do, we're just going to hide the rest of the months just because we don't want to really see that. So let's just hide those columns for now. So what we're going to do, as you can see, I have categorized the expenses in terms of, general categories, which I think you guys, may have. It's very similar to me. So I have categorized it. I have left some space underneath as well in case I haven't, captured all of the expenses that may be applicable to you. So you can go ahead and in the other expenses, you can delete the wording there, and you can obviously populate whatever it is that you've got. So I have categorized the expenses into housing, food, personal care, transport, miscellaneous, and yeah, that's how I've categorized it. So obviously you can go in and populate all of your expenses on a monthly basis. Now obviously if you're paying for things on a fortnightly or weekly basis, you've just got to obviously do the multiplication or division and just pop that through, and you want to make sure that all figures are consistent and are in sort of monthly sort of variables. You don't want anything to be off for like weekly or yearly or whatever it is. So make sure everything is calculated monthly. So yeah, go ahead, populate your rent if you are paying rent, utilities, phone bill, Wi-Fi, and that will then give you a total for that month for the housing category, right? Then you'll go ahead and do the same for food, groceries, and restaurants is what I put there. But if you've got any other sort of food related expenses, you can jot them down and calculate that on a monthly basis. And then moving on to personal care. So personally for me, grooming, I usually do, my laser, my eyebrows, things like that. But you can obviously put in whatever it is that you do. And that will obviously give you a total. Transport as well. So I've put down petrol. If you do own a car, then you may have to obviously pay for petrol or gas, whatever it is that you pay. Transport card or Uber. So transport card in Australia is the Opal card. So put that in as to what you pay on a monthly basis. Have a look at your statements and go back and really see what that looks like. And then car maintenance. Obviously, if you've got cars, then you need to obviously pay for car maintenance and any insurances like that. And then miscellaneous. So I've got entertainment, shopping, subscriptions. A lot of us do have a Netflix or Spotify subscription, so I have popped that in there. And that will give us a total as well. So basically, once we've calculated all of our expenses, this will automatically populate. The monthly expenses will add up and tally up and give you a full amount of what your monthly expenses are. And then it will obviously auto-populate for your yearly expenses as well. And I feel like it's just a good way to see what your yearly expenses are as well. In case, for example, in my case, if I am looking to quit, 9 to 5, I do want to make sure that I do have a few months worth of of, you know, income or savings behind me if anything doesn't go right. So yeah, I think it's just a really good sort of metric to look at as well, just to see what your, you know, yearly expenses do look like. I think it's just a good sort of ballpark figure to know as well. Moving on, you would put in your monthly income. So you would put in your monthly income. If you get paid fortnightly, weekly, make sure you calculate it to make sure it is in monthly sort of format. You don't want to confuse that. And then if we go down, this will auto populate for your monthly savings. So it's obviously your income minus your expenses will give you your monthly savings. And I think this is a good way to see, you know, how you're tracking for the month. And underneath that, we've got yearly savings. So yearly savings will really just give you obviously that monthly savings times 12. So yeah, I think yearly savings is a good way to see, you know, what you're forecasted for, how you're tracking, how you're going. If you are looking to maybe putting a down payment on an investment property, then I think this is a good way to see as to whether you can actually achieve it. And if you do need to cut down on some expenses, then you'll be able to, you know, quite visibly see that there. So I think this is a very good sort of visual sort of way of seeing your expenses and how you're tracking. And I've obviously color coded it just the way that I am. I love color coding. And then what I've done is, once all of that information has been populated, you will see that I have included a percentage of savings over your income. So this is basically your monthly savings over your monthly income, and that should give you a percentage. Now, if you guys recall, I did do a video on my channel where I spoke about how I am able to save 60% of my pay. So this will obviously give you a figure based on, you know, how much you're saving in comparison to your income. So I feel like that's a really good sort of figure to know as well, just so that you know, how much of your income are you actually saving? Because I know we all say that, oh yes, we're saving so much, but how much are you actually saving? So I think this is also a very good metric to keep in mind. If you move down below, we have our current account balance tracker. So basically I put down your transaction or your everyday account. This is obviously your checking account as well. If you are in America, I know we use sort of different terminology. So this will be, what is your balance currently standing at? I think it's very important to note this down each month to see how you're progressing. So I think having a field for this is very important to see it visually, just to see, you know, how you are going and whether you're in line or on track to meeting your goals, your financial goals. So check your account balance on your banking apps and just put that number down there to see, you know, what that looks like. Obviously after your savings and everything's sort of been categorized and, you know, transferred away. And then underneath that, I've got your saving and your offset account. So you can put that number there as well. And you can just see how it goes, you know, month by month, and see if that is increasing or not. And hopefully it is increasing, because that's the whole purpose of budgeting. Now, this is budgeting for expenses that have been incurred. So we're looking at it retrospectively. Now, what you can do is to look in the future as well and pop down some figures, maybe for the month of, you know, May, and pop down some estimated figures as to what you think you should be spending for each of those expenses, and just see how you go at the end of the month and look back, reflect, and see whether you've actually achieved that, or if you've gone higher, or if you've, you know, made some savings. So I think you can use this budget both ways, and really figuring out your expenses. I think if we become very sort of open with our expenses and we become very transparent and honest with ourselves, this will just make the entire savings and investing process a lot easier, and we'll be able to achieve our financial goals if we do know where we stand and how we're going. So guys, if you are interested in downloading this budget, it is in the description box down below. It's just on my website, so be sure to check that out. And I will also leave all of the mentioned videos in the description box down below. But guys, that's essentially it. If you've got any questions at all, any suggestions, any feedback about the website or anything at all, then definitely leave it down below or email me and I'll be sure to get back to you. So that is it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. It's a quick one, I hope. And that's it, guys. I will catch you guys in my next video. Thanks, guys.